Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a post-lottery mock draft. So the lottery obviously came out with Dallas winning the first pick, and we're going to kind of, combine's done as well, so we're going to kind of just do our mock draft again. There are quite a few changes from last time, I believe. So we're going to jump right into it with the first overall pick. The Dallas Mavericks select Cooper Flag out of Duke. I think he's solid, the number one pick. Whether Dallas keep this pick or not is another question, because you've got Kyrie who's out pretty much for the next season with an injury. You've still got AD on that team. Half decent surrounding cast: Klay Thompson, Theo Pinson's there, Najee Marshall. You've got quite a few younger guys and quite a few old guys who can fit around this team quite nicely. Um, so it's dependent on whether they keep the pick. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day. They could trade the pick and some salary fillers for Kevin Durant, obviously pairing him back with Kyrie. You've got AD alongside him as well, which is pretty much, you can, with what Dallas has, you can build the perfect team around Kevin Durant. With what he needs is pretty much interior defense, a rim runner, someone to block those shots at the rim, and shooters all around him. You've got another star in AD, another star in Kyrie, who should be back later on next season, hopefully. So yeah, that's just an idea, but either way, they're taking Cooper Flag number one. Whether they keep him, whether they move him, is still up in the air right now. But he is 110% the first overall pick in this draft still. At number two, we have the Spurs. Now, the Spurs are interesting at two because I've got them taking Dylan Harper, right? That's who I've got them taking. But you already have De'Aaron Fox at that one position. He's 6'6", so he's a little bit of a bigger guard. He can play the two. In terms of how well the fit is with the rest of this team, I'm not sure. Um, I think whatever they decide to do, they have another pick in the lottery, I believe. So whether they decide to trade the second pick for maybe a star level wing or something like that, or they decide to actually take and groom Dylan Harper into their team, we'll have to see. But either way, I think Dylan Harper is the clear cut second best prospect in this draft, and I think they are, whether they keep or take whoever's going to have this pick at two, is taking Dylan Harper for sure. Now at three, we have Philly on the clock. Again, it's pretty, I think it can be a little bit mix and match here, because we've got Trey Johnson as well, who's a very high riser. Ace Bailey, of course, I believe he came in a lot shorter. I think he came in at 6'7" in the combine, which is a little, obviously he's listed at 6'10", so we don't know actually what height he is. But they could go VJ Edgecombe here, they could go Trey Johnson, but I'm gonna have them taking Ace Bailey, just for fit. I mean, he's a wing at the end of the day. Whether there's rumors of Paul George and this third pick being moved again, so you could take Ace Bailey there to pair with Tyrese Maxey and Embiid next season. But again, either way, it's one of those things. If they keep this pick, they're taking Ace Bailey with it. I don't think they're gonna go anyone else. Maybe Trey Johnson, who's been, like, his combine was phenomenal. So he could also rise up into this top three. But for now, I believe this top three is set in stone for what it is. I've got Philly taking Ace Bailey at three. Now the Hornets at four. The Hornets at four is a little bit of a crazier one, because who do you put next to LaMelo? You've got your wing in Brandon Miller. You've still got Miles Bridges. Um, a couple of the pieces on this team. But who do you put next to LaMelo? I think they will go best player available here, which for me is Trey Johnson. I think I'm very high on Trey Johnson. Coming out of that combine, I think he's rose up the board a lot. So I'm gonna have them taking Trey Johnson at four. I think he fits Charlotte a lot better as well. Um, Especially with his ability. Obviously, his mid range is a bit iffy at the moment, from what I've seen off the eye, anyway. But he's explosive. He's 6'6". He can fit nicely next to LaMelo, and Brandon Miller is another scorer. His defense is gonna come when it comes, so we'll have to see. But for now, I have them taking Trey Johnson. So at number five, I have the Utah Jazz going best available with VJ Edgecombe here. I think he fits in this Jazz team a lot better as well. They're looking for a guy who can potentially have that star power. If Trey Johnson isn't available at the fifth pick, I think they're going to take VJ Edgecombe. Again, Trey and VJ are kind of interchangeable for me. I am a little bit higher on Trey than I am VJ. But these two guys, besides Cooper Flag and them top guys, are the clear-cut next picks in this draft. Concanopoulos, I've seen him rise a lot as well. So they could also go with him, but I think just going off star talent, which is what they need at the moment, I think they are going to go VJ or Trey Johnson, whichever one is available, for them at the time. But for this pick in this draft, they're going to end up with VJ at 5. Now 6, the Wizards, they're stuck in this mediocrity. They've got Jordan Poole on a huge contract. They've still got Chris Middleton under contract. They're kind of in this area of mediocrity. So for them, it's quite up in arms. I think they are going to take the best available player, which it's a toss up for me right now between Jeremiah Fears and Concanopoulos. I'm going to take Concanopoulos for them at 6, just because Jeremiah Fears, I believe he came in slightly shorter at the draft combine than listed. And plus, they already have that guard position filled with, you've got Jordan Poole, you've got Malcolm Brogdon, you've got Marcus Smart there as well. Their guard play is a little bit full, so coming in with the wing, he can play guard or wing, Concanopoulos. I think he'd fit in the NBA a lot better as a wing. So I'm going to have the Wizards taking him at 6. Now 7, New Orleans, there's a lot of rumblings about them breaking it up and what they want to do this season. But for me right now, I'm going to have them taking a big. I think a big suits them a lot better. Unless they decide to move DeJounte Murray or CJ McCollum, the guard spots are pretty much full. At 7, there's not really a great wing. I mean, Colin Murray-Boyles had a pretty bad combine. I do think he's still going to go pretty high, but there's not really a good wing from here. So I'm going to have them taking Carmen Malawak, the 7'2" big out of Duke with the 7th pick. I think he fits nicely into sort of building this team up a little bit, especially with what they can get back for players if they do decide to break it up this season. But for just obvious fit and what seems natural to me, I'm going to have them taking Carmen Malawak at 7. Now at 8, the Nets, again, rumblings. Giannis coming to the Nets. They're potentially looking to move Nick Claxton, maybe looking for that young guard. This is where they're going to have Jeremiah Fears. I think he fits perfectly into the culture of this team, into the system of this team. He's a solid scorer. He can do anything. Score 3 levels all the way. He's an incredible scorer. So I think this is exactly what Brooklyn are going to need, that guy who can take over in scoring. Cam Thomas is that guy at the moment, but we've seen him struggle on defense a lot, especially for his size as well. I think Jeremiah Fears, if they do look to move Cam Thompson to maybe a more contending team, Jeremiah Fears is definitely a guy who can replace him with that pure scoring aspect. So I'm going to have them taking him at 8. With the 9th overall pick, I think this fit goes in perfectly. I'm going to have the Raptors taking Kasparas. They need a longer guard. He's that guy who's kind of that Josh Giddey, Lonzo Ball type of player. I think he'll fit perfectly on this Raptors team. Emmanuel Quickley is more of a 2 than he is a 1. So it'll put him more in a natural position. It gives Kasparas the chance to run this floor. He's got RJ Barrett, Brandon Ingram, Scotty Barnes. There's a great core here if they take this guard in Kasparas, who can not only score, not only rebound, not only defend, but also play make as well. So you kind of get an all-in-one guard in Kasparas at 9 if he's here for the Raptors. Now 10, Houston, another team right now who's really, really in trade talks. I mean, they're after Kevin Durant, they're a potential Giannis suitor if he wants moving. I don't really know what else Houston can do to sort of improve this roster apart from trade. I don't think they can draft and make their team any better. I think if they do want to be real contenders next season, they're going to have to do it through trade as opposed to drafting. So they're kind of up in the air right now, but I have got them taking Asa Newell out of Georgia. He's a big 4, which is kind of what they need. He's like a bigger Tari Eason. He can guard. He can shoot the ball pretty well. He's a guy who can fit straight into this team too. So I'm going to have them taking him at 10. Obviously, if this pick stays with Houston, which after their postseason and playoff run this year, I don't think is the case. I think there's going to be a trade coming Houston's way, whether it's a superstar, whether it's little pieces to make this team better. But really, what they do need is that superstar, which I'm guessing will involve this number 10 pick. But if they decide to keep it, I'm going to have them taking Asa Newell. I think he fits the best on this team. With the 11th pick, the Portland Trailblazers. Now, the Portland are a very strange team because they're in that range of rebuilding but also mediocre. So for them, I think they're going to take best available. I think they've got enough talent on their team to take a hit in a project player, and I'm going to have them taking Igor Denim at number 11. I think Igor Denim fits perfectly into this team. I know they also have quite a few of these shooting guards and these longer wings, but they can always play small ball with that because of the bigs they have. So I think he fits nicely on this team. Another suitor I'd like is obviously Colin Murray-Boyles. I think he'd fit on this team nicely. But I'm going to lean towards Igor for the Blazers at 11. With the Bulls at 12, now the Bulls are also interesting because they are as well in that range of mediocre rebuilding. You've still got Alonso on the team who's pre-injury prone. We don't know if he's still going to be here come the season. Josh Giddey's had a complete breakout season, so you've got your point guard of the future there. Mattis has had a pretty solid rookie year. You've got Vooch to expend. You've got Pat Williams to expend. You have quite a few pieces you can move. Kobe White, again, expendable if they don't want to keep him. But I think what they need is a solid forward. Pat Williams is great. Emmanuel Miller's great. But I'm gonna have them taking Colin Murray-Boyles simply because he's a great scorer. He can defend as well. He's gonna be that third option type of player you're gonna need on a team. And I think having that room to grow in Chicago alongside these other guys, this fairly younger team, is going to be great for him. So I've got them taking Colin Murray-Boyles at 12. Now 13, Atlanta. Again, another team stuck in mediocrity here. Do they move Trae Young this season? Do they not move Trae Young? Dyson Daniels obviously had an incredible season this year. They've got Onyeka Okongwu, still got Clint Capella, still got Jalen Johnson again, had a great season this year. I'm going to have them taking Noah Sangwe, number 13. I think he's kind of a player that can fit into this team. He's a wing, 3-and-D type of wing guy, which is what this team is missing. Obviously, Zachary Ricochet, we've still got to see how he turns out, because he could really turn out to be another 3-and-D wing guy. But I think this is what they need to put around Trae Young with his playmaking potential. You need that guy who can just hit his shots and defend hard, and that is Noah Sangwe for you. And with the last pick of the lottery, we have the Spurs with their second pick in the lottery at 14. This one's tricky. This one is tricky because there's not many guys left on the board who are very clear to fit into this team. So I'm going to go with what I think for them would be the safest option in taking Liam McNeely at 14. Again, a wing guy. He can hit his shots. Playing with Chris Paul, De'Aaron Fox, Stephen Castle on the rise. You've still got Wemby, who's a pretty above average playmaker for a big. This is the type of guy you're going to need who can defend and hit his shots. Again, very similar to what Atlanta needs. I think they go Liam McNeely here at 14. And that's all I have for you guys today. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe if not already. All my links are in the description down below. Let me know your mock draft, what you think of this. I do think there's a few guys who've slid out. Derek Queen, for example. I think it's all about fit. Again, the current rosters we have are going to completely change. They're going to be changing all over the place. So we're going to do one more mock draft right before the draft, the day before. Obviously, with rosters that are moving quickly, we'll have a little bit more information then. But for now, this is what I have as the lottery. Again, Derek Queen slid, a couple of other guys slid. But that's purely based on fit. And I mean, a lot of boards have Derek Queen in that 18 to 20 range. So I'm not too mad about that. I think this is a pretty solid mock draft for what we have to work with at the moment. But yeah, if you guys enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if not already. Um, Also leave your own mock draft in the links below, comments below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.